Hi Libra, how are we? Just doing our weekly readings. We're looking at love this week for you. See what's going on. Make sure you do leave a comment on the video so that you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. This week we're doing a Celtic cross layout, looking specifically at love. All right, but I am using a couple of different decks going on here. So for your central energy, we will be using the Divine Goddess Messages Oracle. The main deck I'm using here, I've got the Weird World lenormand. Now, this is actually a double deck. It's two decks in one. So we do sort of sometimes find those doubles coming on through. But today, in addition to the Celtic Cross, I will be drawing a couple of cards from the Love Confessions Oracle as well. Okay, so getting into it for you, Libra. Now, like I said, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the readings and leave that comment to go in the draw for that free personal reading. I am just going to grab out all your cards and then we'll sort of go from there. Starting off with your central energy, the present energy for our Libra, please. Okay. Oh, straight away, Libra, this is going to be a good one. I hope you're all set to learn all about your love life because it's going to be good. All right, let's have a look here. Libra, the past energy for Libra with love, please. The future energy for Libra. The crown energy, the ideal or desired outcome for you. What's crossing you, challenging you? What is beneath your energy here? Subconscious. Okay, and then those standalone cards here, Libra, starting off with your attitude towards love, your advice, the external influences for you, your hopes and fears, as well as the outcome for love. Okay, so starting off with your central energy, the present energy for you. This is why I sort of straight away, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good story, Libra. True love. Okay, put your whole heart into what you desire. All right, and it looks as though you've been doing that for a while because your past energy, we have the star, okay, which talks about wishes that you've got high hopes and optimism that you will find this true love. I do pick up for you here that this is all relatively small time frame for you here, Libra. So it's not necessarily a big span of time here. It's kind of like although you may have been waiting for this dream for quite a while. You've been waiting for this goal. The goal is true love here, true love, and I feel like because you've been trying to manifest this for a while and you've been wishing for this for a while, but it's only become recently, present moment, where you're actually starting to understand to put your whole heart into that and the idea of that. So there's this energy of, there's something about love that your wishes and desires have changed slightly because you're now understanding love in a more whole, fulfilling way rather than, I feel like you've just done some work, some shadow work when it comes to issues around love and relationships. So you do seem to be in a much more fully understanding energy of what you're actually desiring rather than just wishing for something amazing. You're a little bit more pinpointing it to exactly what I want at the minute. All right, the future. Now, your reading here is going to, it's kind of giving me this man of mystery, all right, because we have the book coming through for your future energy, which is a little bit of a mysterious, unknown element coming through. So it's very much like you don't know what the next chapter holds. But with this energy here, the past, present, and future energy here, this is also, the story is up to you. You're the writer. You're the one writing this book. So it's up to you what exactly that next chapter looks like. If you're wanting a plot twist or a new character add in, it's completely up to you. You're able to manifest that. And there's a strong learning curve with the book as well. So it's like you want to learn more about love and more about what love means to you, and what love means to your person if you've already met them. Even if you haven't, you kind of, it's all about learning and educating yourself on how we can make love truer and more whole, and more able to meet my exact desires. But it's also talking about learning about how to manifest that. All right. So some of you may actually be, educating yourself a little bit here on manifestation techniques and things along those lines as well. Now, the ideal desired outcome. This is interesting because we have the fox as your crown card here. So that's the desired outcome of the situation, which is a little bit sneaky energy, okay? A little bit, not sneaky, but crafty, okay? It's a very shapeshifter kind of energy where your desired outcome is a little bit of the situation matches what you want, and changing situations to suit you, okay? Because the fox can be a little bit selfish. It's a little bit trickster, like I get what I want kind of energy. So your desired outcome, like that, there's not as much compromise with your desired outcomes here as what I would probably like to see for you here. This is very kind of individual, independent energy. So your desired outcome is really very focused on your independence and wanting to maintain your independence. But you just need to be a little bit careful not to cross the line into selfishness, where only you matter in a relationship. Because a relationship, if you want someone to be your true love, you also need to be theirs. Okay, so just be careful with that energy. But all in all, the foxes are also very, very nurturing and caring in their own way. Once they've got their little fox den, they'll do whatever it takes to protect that. Okay, so maybe try to move into that energy a little bit more, where you're not necessarily independent as in just you. You're independent as in this relationship can stand strong alone, without protecting ourselves from the world, rather than, you're encompassing that person into that independent energy that you've got there, where you take care of yourself, and you do what you need to do for the relationship and for you and your partner, not just you yourself. Okay, so just careful of that one, because, especially with what we see crossing you, the challenges here, we have the child. Okay, so for some of you, this is an actual child that is creating a challenge in this connection. Even if this, once again, you may not have even met this person yet, but this may actually become an issue that maybe you have a child or this person has a child. Okay, so it can be an actual child, and it just helps add some extra pizzazz to the connection. It's always going to be a little bit of an extra challenge taking that on board, and having to be a responsible adult for somebody else's child, in a parental role without being the actual parent. Sometimes that is very, very difficult. All right. And, we all know children are very challenging just in their nature. That's just their nature, especially when they hit teenage years, right? So it's going to be a challenge if that's the case, right? So if you've got a child or they've got a child, just aware that, being aware that could become a potential challenge with this connection itself. But for a majority of you, this is playing off that fox energy, where, the child is actually, they're not necessarily worried about everyone else. They're just worried about having fun and, chasing the adventure and doing their own thing and just having fun and being a kid, So when you're embracing that energy a little bit, you do sometimes, it's like, it's not innocence or naivety. It's sometimes it can be a little bit immaturity, a little bit very playful kind of fun energy, but also, there's always too much of a good thing, right? Because like a child, like I was just saying with an actual child, it's always going to be challenging. There's still things to learn. All right, but we kind of have that covered with the future energy, right? There's still things to learn, and you're willing to learn. You're going to still learn in the future here as well. So those challenges are not going to be setbacks. They're just challenges. They're, challenges that can be easily overcome. But it's not a setback stepping you backwards. Okay, especially here too, because the subconscious energy, we have the sun. So there is still some personal epiphanies, okay? So that may come to light here, which once again, it's going to be playing off that fox and child energy, where you may just be learning a little bit more about yourself in the process as well, and facing some of the shadows. You feel like you've already done a lot of work here, but it may just be a little bit more personal this time, where you're having to really sort of pay attention to some of your traits and the way that you unintentionally treat others from your playful, independent kind of energy. It can sometimes have an effect on others that you're not necessarily meaning to. But ultimately, the subconscious energy here is happiness. You just want to be happy, and that's fair, totally fair. You just want to be happy. And that's the subconscious energy of love for you, is that there is a lot of happiness under the surface. But that's why these things are just little blips. They're just little challenges, because the happiness is there running under the surface of it all. All right. The advice for you, the attitude that we have here, we have the rats coming through as your advice, which the rats is actually, it does talk about past losses and, fear and stress from the past, things that have been taken away from you in the past. And quite often it talks about exes. All right. So as your attitude and your advice here, it kind of feels like it's very much like just a very simple message of don't allow the past to set you back in this future energy. That if something's gone wrong in the past, or you've been treated badly in the past, your advice is to not allow that to stress you out about this person. That they are not your past. They are not that person that you lost or had taken from you, or that ate away at your energy. That they are not this same person. So it's kind of a bit of a warning to not let the past creep back into the present and the future. And your attitude needs to be very muchly fresh slate, that you're not the past, that the past is over and done with. So the attitude needs to be, because right now it is just a little bit stuck on the past, that in the past XYZ has happened. So, the fear of that happening again is increased. So you just need to pay attention to that as well, that your advice is to really, not allow the past to nibble away at your energy, and change the way that you're looking at someone that is not that same personal situation. The influences we have for you with this connection, we have the book coming through again. All right. So the need to learn, and admit that you need to learn, that no one is perfect. No one knows everything. So there is still a little bit more to learn here. And I do feel as though for a lot of you that your experience is that, yes, you know a lot, you've learned a lot already, but this person has learned things in a different way. And so now you need to learn that way. It's kind of like, I'm kind of getting this energy of like two people that speak totally different languages. And they have to, this one is very, very fluent in language A, and you're very, very fluent in language B, and you're both very, very learned and knowledgeable and educated, but sometimes you need to learn a little bit of language A, and they need to learn a little bit of language B, so that we can meet in the middle and have a common language between us. Does that kind of make sense? That the external influences is that there is just different ways of learning and different ways of being in life, that this person, it's kind of like they're a very fresh energy, a fresh slate for you here, in the sense that they just do things differently and it works for them. You do things your way and that works for you. But there's a lot to learn from each other about how we can, you know, observe and learn and understand each other, to be able to mesh in the middle a bit better. Okay. So there is just still a little bit of, you know, educating yourself about maybe something that you need to educate, because it's just giving something that, just something random that you need to educate yourself about, in order to mesh better with this person. Okay. So another example that I'm being given here is if this person, you know, whether you or this person has, you know, a specific health issue, okay, that, just as a random example, they have a broken leg and you've never had to, you know, help anyone get around with a broken leg. But now all of a sudden you're being faced with this situation where you have to learn, how can I best support somebody that has a broken leg and they can't walk right now? How do I mesh with that and make that work for both of us? Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. The hopes and fears that we have in this connection, we have the house. So there is this, it's very interesting. There's this hope that this could be my family. This could be my safe zone. This could be, you know, secure and stable for me moving forward in the future. But I also have this fear that there might not be security and stability, that I'm very, very concerned about issues around, you know, mental and emotional stability. Is this person going to support me and help keep me stable, you know, moving forward? Is this going to be a safety zone, a comfort zone, or is this going to be, you know, is it going to sort of be very unsteady and unstable, where I don't know what I'm doing? You know, once again, I feel like that's that fear from the past coming back around. So you may have, especially, you know, we are going into Mercury retrograde here, so I wouldn't be surprised if fears from the past are heavily affecting you right now, but it does sort of seem to be that you're like, well, in the past, things that I thought it was going to be, you know, I thought this person was stable, and then all of a sudden they had a mental breakdown and they were totally emotionally unstable. And so something that looked stable became very unstable. You know, that kind of fear is setting you off a little bit here. So you've got that fear, you're hoping for the stability, but you're very fearful of it not being stable. All right, that scares the ish out of you, I'm not going to lie. But the outcome we have for you here, we have the ship. So moving forward, definitely moving forward, starting this brand new journey, you know, starting a journey. It's like all your ships are coming in, everything is coming up Libra, everything working out for you here moving forward. You may even travel a lot with this person as well. There might be the need to, you know, the outcome to have to travel, you know, to be with this person is definitely there as well. Okay, but we'll grab you a couple of extra cards from the Love Confessions deck. What else does Libra need to know in regards to love? What does Libra need to know in regards to love, please? So maybe this is why we're seeing that book card come through twice. Because, you know, you're someone that probably enjoys learning and educating yourself and you know, all that sort of stuff, doing the work. Your intelligence is so hot. All right. This person is very you know, people are attracted to your intelligence and the fact that you do want to educate yourself, and you are willing to learn how to mesh better with people and learn more about people and things like that. You brought the life back into my life. That's a weird wording, isn't it? You brought the life back into my life. Okay, so it's kind of for you too. This is a mirroring energy, because this is the past wishes that you've had for things in the past. You've wanted that stability in the past, and for some reason it got shaken up. You know, the wish is alive all over again. It's like in this person, it's like, oh, I forgot that I wished for this, and here it is. And now I'm like, wow, that really was what I was wishing for, and now it's back. It might be true love. Okay, and this person is the same. This person feels the same, that there's something about you that energizes them and makes them feel more alive, more like they are a part of life. Okay, so a lot to learn from each other, but it's all moving in the right direction. Okay, so that's what we've got for you. Make sure you leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading. And I'll see you all again soon.